My peeps, hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? How are you? This is Lena with Especially Made for Me. I'm so happy to be here with you today and that you're joining me. We're going to be working on a garland. I know it may seem kind of odd to work on a garland during this season, but garlands can be used for any season, any occasion. So we're going to be dressing ours up for spring. So we have lots of florals here. Instead of using mesh, which is another awesome way to do a quick, easy garland for definitely less, we're going to be using some florals because it is spring and spring is all about flowers. So we're going to be using some florals today, and I'm going to be showing you some tips as we go. So thank you again for joining, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to show you first and foremost the items that we have, the tools that you're going to need, which I do have it all listed on the bottom of the video, so you can see all the supplies you'll need, the actual tools that you'll need. But I want to show you the flowers and the things that I have. We may not use all of it, but I want to make sure that I show you what I put on the table, and then we'll kind of go and go with the process. So we have a garland. This one is 9 feet long, and it is actually considered, let's see, a Colorado garland, and it's got 240 tips, so it should be nice and thick for what we need. Nice and full, and we're gonna fill it up even more with some more flowers. But I wanted to make sure I let you know how long my garland is. This one is 9 feet, and it's 10 inches wide. Once you open all the stems, all the tips should be about 10 inches. So, and I'll try to see if you can see it a little bit on here, but I have it spread out on the table because there's not enough room for it. It's so long. So we're going to be using some different variety of flowers, and I want to show you what I have for adding a base. I thought of maybe doing for the center of the garland, just to be able to define our center a little bit more, because the garlands can be used, of course, over a doorway and an arch, you know, for like a wedding, or for photo props. It can be used on double doors, mantles. There's so many different options. So I thought of maybe doing a center part to kind of define it a little bit more. And I have these leaves that I'm planning on using here to define our middle a little bit more. So this will be added more to the center as a base before we start adding flowers. So I wanted to show you these, and these are for the base, for the center. So I have a couple of those. We have plenty of fillers, but I want to show you what our main set of flowers is. If I can get on in there, I have them almost towards the bottom. So we have all of these. I have a couple of bundles of these. We probably won't use both, but I wanted to make sure we had more, and in case we need more, I'll just grab them. I have my floral items all over to the other side where you can actually see it on the camera. But we have that. So we have plenty of the pink and the off-white and some white and yellow. And I want to show you just one of each so that you can see what we have. So here's the yellow. Hello, yellow. And I like these because it's like a long stem, so then it kind of helps us to spread the length and kind of make, like little twigs coming out, but it's going to have the little flowers sticking out. So we can actually use these long as they are, or we can cut them down to just kind of give it a pop of yellow throughout. So we'll kind of play it as we go, as I normally do. We have also these gorgeous ones that have this little yellow in the middle, so it'll kind of pop out some of that yellow to bring it all together. Then same thing here with these others for fillers with the pink. And I'll show it to you. We can actually cut these down to size as well. And you'll be able to see everything from the top. I'm kind of leaving it here in the middle on purpose, so you'll be able to see it when I change the view of the camera. We have plenty of fillers because I like having different fillers. This one looks kind of like the baby's breath. So I kind of grabbed some of those. I'll have a couple of those. And again, we probably won't use all of this. I just wanted to have a variety of things that we can use and play with. We have these others, and they have a little bit of the yellow, but some of that lime on the inside, just so that we can have some more, again, the variety of the colors, because it is spring, but we didn't want to go too much with like teal and blue and different things. So this is another kind of pink. It's a different shade, but it's all in pink versus this one that has some white on it. This one is all in pink, but it's got some greenery, which is why I liked it as well. It's kind of like that yellow one that I showed earlier. I like that it has some greenery on it, so that kind of helps us spread some of that around. And it's got some leaves as well. So, you know, greenery, gotta have a little bit of everything. So I think that's pretty much it by way of flowers. I just have a couple of bundles of each one just to make sure that we have plenty to go around. And I'm going to change the camera view just so that you can see everything, but I want to show you, I was trying to get to the ribbon. We're also going to be using this ribbon. It's a 1.5 inch ribbon, and it kind of ties in all of these colors together. We have the pink, the yellow, the lime, and a little bit of the white. So we may use some of this ribbon throughout, just as another filler throughout the garland. And we could also do a quick bow towards the end of the garland to kind of hang down on the garland to extend it some more. So we could also do that. So again, we'll just play all of that by ear, so to speak. We'll just go with the flow as things, as we, whoop, there we go. Trying to find the mouse. El ratoncito, mouse, little mouse. Okay, so I'm going to change the camera view, and that way you can see me towards the corner still and see all of these flowers. So it kind of spreads out the view a little bit more. So here are all the flowers that I mentioned. This is the one with the pink and the white, a little bit of lime in the middle. This one is all pink, but it's got like a yellow center. And of course all the greenery. So we're going to be using all of that. And we have the baby's breath, Arbor daisies. Let's see what else. Then we have our main one, which is going to be started at the center and then spread out. So it's got a variety of the colors there. And I think I already showed this one as well. So that's what we have by way of flowers. And we're going to start, of course, with our bigger ones with the center and then spread them out. And then we're going to come back and add in all the little ones as our fillers and so on. But we're going to start with our center first and foremost, so that we can have our center and know where our center is, for that way when we ever set it up for displaying, whether we go over the mantle or a door, double doors or outside door, we'll know exactly where the center is, and we can just prop it open and hang it and be ready to go. So that's why I like defining our center, so that way it makes it easier for displaying. So I'm gonna put my little mouse away, the ratón in Spanish. Can we say that? Can we do our little R's? Ratón. Okay, so for our center, I kind of marked where our center is with my little, so I wouldn't lose track of where it's at. You can do a couple of different things. We can cut this down just right at the top of the stem and actually glue it just as is, and then spread the leaves, which is what I'm probably going to be doing. Or you can go ahead and cut out each one individually and kind of stick it throughout, just to make sure you define your center. And then we build our center first with the flowers and spread out. So we're going to see which way we're going to go. While you're here, please don't forget to give me thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Click on that bell. That'll notify you also of when we go live, when we have new uploads or premieres. And or you could also subscribe to our email list, and we do send out email lists, and we'll keep you posted with all the happenings of the business and going live and specials and sales and events. Get some extra coupons that you might not get otherwise. Just repositioning here as we talk. I like to make sure all of my leaves are facing the right way. Okay, so I'm gonna start this. This one is a little bit thick. And I do like saving these. I don't always throw them away. Sometimes I do. Comes in handy when you're making actual making some centerpieces and you have to put different parts of it together, like the styrofoams. I like using glue, but I like having something sticking through it to hold it together, just for additional support. Okay, so I mentioned if you do it this way, not only do you have your center pretty much set up, you just got to position your leaves versus having to glue each one separately. Saves a little bit of time, and to me it kind of gives it a little bit of a little bit more of a fuller look. So that's why I do it this way. And you can use these tips to actually secure it in on top of using some glue. And if you're not planning on leaving it as is, this is a big way to go. Just kind of using that as to kind of hold it together. Or you can glue it if you know you're going to keep it, or if you're going to be selling it, if you're doing this on the side for making some extra funds. It's entirely up to you. So I am going to go ahead and apply some glue and then position. And I should have, because for this one, it would probably be better to use my glue gun here. So I'm going to turn it on, but I'm going to try, since I have my skillet on behind me, I'm going to try to see if I can manage it, even though it's such a big piece here. We'll see how it goes. We just like trying on these things. And I lowered it earlier, so we're going to definitely have a little bit more of this, what I call the spider webs. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it up a bit again, so we get more liquefied. As usual, I am already getting hot because I have the skillet on. Okay, so the thought is to have the leaves come through just like it's part of the actual garland. So that's what I'm kind of working on here. Just repositioning the actual stems. We want it to look like it's an actual extension, like it's part of it. Okay, just want to make sure that glue dries on there. Just be careful as you do this, of course, not to burn yourself, because that glue gets pretty hot. And since we will be putting flowers on top of it, even when you do use the stems to kind of hold it in place and continue to spread them, that won't be seen. So don't let that worry you. Let me know if you're out there by just typing in a comment that you're here, because I will know you're here watching otherwise. If possible, let me know where you're watching from. Where? Donde? We're going to learn a little bit of Spanish today. I haven't done that in a while. It was brought to my attention. It's like, hey, you're not showing different words like you used to. It's like, it has been a while. And I thought, hey, guess it's time to bring that back. Okay, time for our second one. So for tools, in case you haven't already noticed, you will need some pliers, wire cutters rather. I guess you could use pliers, but that won't help you too much with the cutting. You will need scissors once we start working with the ribbon to make our bow or bows. But other than that, maybe the glue gun if you don't have a skillet. I do love the Ryobi because I don't have to worry about wires. The cords rather. See, it's part of that Spanglish. It gets in the way sometimes. And again, just repositioning the leaves because they do turn. And I want to make sure it's all green towards the top. And then I want to make sure I spread them out a little bit. Alrighty, so here we go. Get into our skillet here. And now with this one, we're going to go in the opposite direction. Doing the same thing here. We're going to just position it, let the glue do its work, but also tie it off using those same stems or tips. And then spread them out. Spread the love. The idea is to make sure that it's nice and full. We have plenty of coverage and at the same time have a big enough base to be able to put our flowers on. And then we can spread along as we go. If you want more of the stems to come out, just kind of intertwine, and or as I've been doing, just kind of use them also to kind of keep that, your greenery in there. Because again, with the flowers, you're going to be filling all of that in. So it's going to be okay. Let's see, do we need to pin that one down? in the camera. Okay. Don't think I went as far out with this one, so I'm going to go back just to make sure. Looks like I did. Let's see. Alrighty. Okay, so now I'm going to use my trusty Ryobi cordless glue gun because I want to make sure I put a little bit more glue here in the middle. And I'm going to use some of the greenery from the stems to make sure we have enough of a base for our flowers. Again, just making sure everything is nice and secure. And actually, it doesn't look like I'm going to need any more glue. I'll try a little bit more. So this Ryobi glue, I actually have the link to it under my affiliates on the bottom of the video. In case you're looking for a glue gun, I definitely recommend this one. Because again, with it being cordless, you don't have to worry about the cord getting in your way, getting stuck, and you having to get it untwisted and things like that. And if you use it on your board, even if some glue gets on your board, it easily comes off with, see, I use this from my Cricut, with my Cricut projects. Just kind of scrape it off if you're not able to do it with your fingernails. Just be careful if you use your fingernails because they can break, just by experience. So I started using that instead. Makes it a little bit better. Move that more towards the middle there. And these leaves, if you get the same kind, and I forgot where I got these. I think I got them with through my vendor. But they do have them at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. And they actually, because they're wired, you can turn them in the different directions. So you can use, use that to your advantage and kind of spread them out. Just for filler. Filler. Okay. So I mentioned we're going to work on our middle first. And I'm hoping, yeah, you can see on there. So we're going to work on our middle first and use our main flowers first. And then start spreading those throughout the garland. And then we're going to start filling in with the other flowers. So here we go. I'm going to turn this off because we don't need it anymore. Because it's already putting glue on my on the garland itself. Didn't notice it was that close to it. Okay. So I would try to get this garland out of the way and cut these so that you can see a little bit better, but I'm going to do it on top of it just because I want to make sure that you see how I cut these. Now these are, let's see, it's considered a rose bush. Now this one has 24 on it, and I got it through my vendor, so I'm sorry, but I know that I've seen some also at Hobby Lobby that you can get. And I like them because they got all these leaves, so you can use the leaves also throughout, but I'm going to actually save the leaves, the big leaves, for another project, and I'm actually just going to use the flower. But if you notice, the flower also has some greenery, which is what I like, and we're going to push that up before we cut, because that helps us with the filling as we're doing our filler. And these, we don't need it long because we're not doing a centerpiece, so we can cut them short. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be cutting a few at a time to start doing our filling in our garland. And I'm going to be using both the pink and the white. Just like pushing again those leaves up. And we may have to cut a little bit shorter, but for now I'm just cutting just to get things ready. I absolutely love these greens with it. Tell you what, try. It's a little bit heavy because there's so many in here. So bear with me here. Okay. Hope we're doing well out there. I know it's Easter weekend, with today being Friday. Hope you have some wonderful plans made and starting to head outdoors, or have maybe a nice gathering with friends, family, celebrating what this wonderful holiday is about. Maybe even do some arts and crafts with the kiddos. Manualidades. I'll say that again because I know it's a long one if you are trying to learn. Manualidades. Like manual. It's a manual. Manualidades. Manual. Because you're doing it by hand. Manualidades. So I am going to cut this whole one because I do believe we're going to at least use the one. We may not use both bushes of these, but I do think we're going to use at least one. So I want to make sure these are our main flower for throughout the whole garland, and then the other ones are going to be fillers. So I want to make sure I cut enough of this to spread throughout. And hopefully not too long from now, we're building a higher table for my arts and crafts room. Again, manualidades. So I could actually be with you here standing up. We tried doing it standing up before, and just with the camera and the way we have the room set up, we're just not able to do it. So we decided, since I'm really end up being in a little bit of pain when I sit for too long, to try to build a table that's a little bit higher, so that way I can do these and be here with you doing these creations and the YouTube tutorials standing up, and then it'll make it a little bit easier. It is going to be a little bit of a bigger table, so then I'll be able to spread things out a little bit better, and so I'm looking forward to that. Again, I'm just pushing the greenery as high up as I can against the actual flower, because we want to make sure that it has that greenery. And I'll show you the difference here. So if you hold it, if you have the greenery around it, it makes that flower actually pop more. So that's why I pushed them up. I like actually having, especially when they have these little, I don't know what to call them, little sprigs that come out. And even the ones with just a couple of leaves, it just makes it a little bit better than just the flower by itself. So I do recommend pushing that up. And then you can save your other leaves for another project. Don't throw that away. Some throw it away, it's okay. But I believe in trying to save. So I'm going to spread these just so that I can not have to worry about them falling. And then we'll work on our center. Okay, that'll be good. Okay, so I'm going to cut these down just a little bit more, and that part I will throw away. I do have a trash can right there, and we'll see if we have to use the other bush or not. I don't think we will, but we might. Well, I just used a couple. Okay, that one's short enough. So again, don't forget to give thumbs up and subscribe. Click that bell so you'll be notified when I go live or have a premiere or do an upload. Sometimes we just do an upload of a video, not necessarily a premiere. That way you'll be notified when we do that. You could also subscribe to our email list, and you'll be notified there as well ahead of time, not right at the time that we're going on, but subscribing to the email list, since we do it a couple of days in advance of going live, you'll be notified. Okay, so we're just going to start positioning our flowers. This is our center, and we do want to have some coverage. And don't forget, we do still have the fillers, so we'll still be able to fill in and out throughout the full garland. And see, this is what I was talking about with that greenery. Let's see if I go further up. See this little, so it has these on two different sides, so it kind of makes that flower pop more if we push that greenery out, and then you still have the leaves. Okay. And I like to spread mine throughout. They don't have to be on a straight line. And we just want to give it the effect of it going in and out of the garland. I think I mentioned on another one of the tutorials that I did that with florals, it doesn't have to be per se perfect, because if you look at flowers out in the wild, in nature, they're going in all sorts of directions, and you may have just one color on one side, but you may have more than one altogether. They get along. So I think I need to go a little shorter with these. You can adjust as you need to when you make these, of course, just like I am. I think I need to put a little bit more glue in my skillet. And I mentioned, I think I started saying, I mentioned on another one of the tutorials with regards to spreading things around, and those doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. And what I've noticed is that the more and more that I do these florals, is that I may not per se be 100% happy when I first start, but as it all starts coming together, it works. So I think I can push this up more. Haha. All right, let me start working some more on this side. What I do like to do is kind of look at it from different angles, because I want to make sure that we have flowers that you can view from the different angles. I need a little bit more glue. Especially with a garland or a centerpiece, because you know it's going to be in different angles as well. You know, if you're going to be hanging it, you're going to be seeing those flowers from different angles. So as we go, you'll see that I'll be kind of looking on the sides, on the back, front. So do we remember our word for crafts, arts and crafts in Spanish? Just in case, it's manualidades. Manual, just like the hands or like the handbook, manual. Manualidades. I keep looking at these and I keep thinking I've attached some more somewhere. And it's not even part of it. Okay. Trying to take a look-see. To lift this up a little bit more. With this thick of a garland, since it's got so many tips, we don't need the stems to be so long. So that's why I'm kind of cutting down as I go. And when I do this, if you're using a skillet like I am, I always hold everything in my hand with the flour. Let me see if I can come up. Like I'm kind of not necessarily squishing it, but just making sure they're not dangling, so that way they won't get in the glue. Just the tip there. And I'm starting to move up just to make sure I spread the love of these beautiful flowers. Let's see, can you see me up there? You can't, huh? I'll move it here in a second. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I should put another white one over here. I think I might leave it for now. Again, if you're out there watching, do write a comment. Let me know you're out there. Want to make sure that we are connected properly, because we have been having some issues with our internet connection. And I want to make sure that you can see and hear. Let's see if this cooled off enough. Let's see, we're gonna have to be moving this back and forth until we get everything the way we want it. They're still a little too long. Trying to decide which way to go. It's another wonderful thing about dealing with florals. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect in the sense that they all have to be facing a certain way, or they, you know, the main thing to think of is make sure you have your base depending on how you want the spread of your flowers to go. So if you want, you know, if you're doing like a centerpiece or something like that, you want to make sure you have your base. I do have some other tutorials on that, but on the garland as well, you want to make sure your base is set. Like at first, I made sure that we opened up all of our tips to make sure everything is nice and fully open, just like you would with when you're doing them for Christmas. You want to make sure everything is opened up. So we did the same thing just to kind of spread things out. So always the base, if I had to suggest something that you pay a lot of attention to, would be your base. Because if your base is set up, then everything will work. Everything should work just smoothly. Okay, let's see. Guess I'm gonna have to be moving this here shortly, so you won't be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so again, this is our center, and we're just going from our center, going out. And then we do our fillers. And this is a 9-foot garland. And by the time we're done, it's going to be all nice and full with a variety of flowers. And you'll be able, this one you can use for, again, to go over the door or mantle, or like the double patio door even, if you have some nice curtains, or if you just have blinds and you want to dress it up a bit. Okay, I think we're good. I might actually add this one here just because I want a little bit more of a pink on this side before we start adding our fillers. Okay, so we're going to start with these, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure we have all of our greenery up. And I do leave everything on here. I don't take anything off because, again, those little things actually add all of that greenery. See, it's got these coming out. I think it adds more definition, more volume. Excuse me. So I like leaving them on. I just like pushing them off. Oh, to the top. And then we'll work towards the end of our garland, and then we'll open up probably that other bundle to spread some of those other flowers around. Oops. Don't worry, if that happens, we can glue it back together. For the sake of time on the video, though, I'm not going to spend time on that. I'm just going to keep going. So I can go ahead and cut them. We can start spreading the love. Speaking of, please do sprinkle some love. Again, thumbs up, subscribe, click on the bell, share the link of the video, invite others to come and watch, share it on social media. And if by chance you are also a creator, if you do are creative, if you do arts and crafts, you know, for yourself or just to decorate around the home or for selling on the side, tag us on social media. Show us what you're making. Well, I like seeing what others are creating. It's just so beautiful to see all the different items and everybody's gifted ideas. So please do share. I do have a Facebook page as well, so you can tag there. I actually have a free Facebook group for the love of crafts. If you like to join that, just go on Facebook and go to our page, and you can check on the groups for the community and join. We need some members there because we want to see all the crafting and help each other with the crafting and give each other ideas. That's what it's about to me. Just help each other out. Give creative criticism. Be loving. Be nice. Be kind. So that's why I made that group. so we can have a safe place in which we can share our love of crafts, whether it is wreaths and swags or florals, if you paint. Share it with us. May do some fake bakes like I also do. Do share. We do also have a group for Christmas 365 days out of the year. So if you love Christmas and you like sharing some of those crafts or just anything in relation to Christmas all year round, we have that as well. Or if you like to just do it in July or just in Christmas, join us then as well. It's going to be so nice and full. Kind of looking again on the different angles, because once you have it hanging, you'll be able to see more of those spots. So trying to make sure I go all the way around. Just spread some of that. And these are actually, let me see, these are only 12 daisies versus the 24 that we have with the others. So we will be using both. So I want to make sure I spread them all the way around or all throughout. If you're just joining us, we're working on a garland for spring using florals. Our garland is 9 feet long and it's got 250 tips on it, if that helps you with deciding which one to get. And let's see, where did I put the little tag? There we go. So you know it's called a Colorado garland, in case you want to try to get the same kind. And we're using, let's see, roses, daisies. We'll be using some baby's breath. So we have a few different things going on. Okay, so this time, let's see, did I do enough on the other side? I want to make sure that you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving the garland itself so we can position enough of these daisies. There we go. More towards the top. And then we'll do it again because we still have to do the ends with some of the other, the roses. It was a little bit too long. And I'm just lightly putting them on there with a little bit of pressure. Oops, this one's too long. If by chance you're watching this on replay after the live, please write a comment. Let me know that you're watching or that you have watched it during the replay, just so I'll know. And you could put a comment or ask questions. I do check on the comments periodically. I do come back to the videos in case there's any questions or anything that I can help answer. I do have a description on the bottom of the video, and it does have a list of the items that you need to make this garland. In case you did not, you're not subscribed to the email list and didn't get the notification about the live today, and check on supplies beforehand to make it with me, you can check on the bottom of the video for that list of items, and also for the tools that you're going to need to make it. Okay, save these for the bottom part. Okay, moving along. I'm going to go ahead and start putting some of the actual roses that we started with on the ends, because I want to make sure we can put everything on here. So I am going to just move things around. Like I said, it is 9 feet long, so it doesn't actually fit on my table. So we're going to have some of it on the floor here, and I'll see if I can keep it together. Okay, let's do some reshaping. Just want to have these spread out enough to where you have a base, and still have some towards the middle to help with the filler as you go. And then make sure that you twist along as you need to make sure everything goes in the same direction. You don't want it to be kind of going back and forth like it's you don't want it to be twisted, basically is what I'm saying. And I like having some on my end. To kind of spread. And then with the bows, if we decide to do the bows at the end, which I definitely do recommend, makes it a little bit longer. And it helps us with filling it as well. Gives a base to the bow, so it'll pop. Now you can also string it through the connection, but normally you would, if you're, depending on how you're hanging it, if you're putting it all long instead of over a door, you might need that to hang it. So depending on how you're going to be displaying it, you can use that or not. Okay. Here we go. Let's get our other bundle of our roses. I can feel, with me having that Hispanic blood in me, I can feel my hair growing. Mi gente will know. If we have any Spanish people, Hispanics out there watching, it just seems to grow and grow with humidity, and I'm hot because the skillet is on. It's like I can feel it growing. I tried a couple of times to have the ceiling fan going when I was doing the tutorials, but then that kind of got a little bit in the way. You can kind of see the shadow of the fan on the video, the tutorial, and then the sound was getting in the way, so now I go without. Tried a smaller fan, that didn't work either because it was just a little too loud, kind of took over. Even the most quiet one that I found, which is actually pretty quiet, it just seemed to disrupt the video. Kind of like I always think, I can hear the cars out in the street. It's like, I wonder if they can still hear me okay. Sometimes my neighbor is playing some loud music, especially on the weekends. I'm thankful he's not doing that right now. So hopefully you can hear me okay. Okay, I'm not going to do them all. We'll see here. We'll split them up. Just to make sure we're somewhat, doesn't have to be exact like I mentioned, but I want to make sure I have enough. If not, we'll cut some more. And as you put these down, just kind of look that you're spreading the colors. Again, doesn't have to be exact. By that, all I mean is to make sure that there's flowers in every direction, because you want, regardless of which way somebody's going to see the garland, whether they're coming in or passing by, or depending on where you're displaying it, that they'll see flowers. You don't want any, per se, too many empty spots. That's why we have fillers. So mainly, don't have them all facing in the same direction. Spread the love, spread the love. Because in the wild and then in nature, they're really, they're all over. So why restrict them on a garland, right? And then we're going to have our bow down here. So we'll use some of our fillers down here to tie in the colors with the bow. We'll do that at both ends. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on to the other side so that we can do the other end of it. Just kind of grabbing here by our center and seeing if I can get it over so we can hopefully have enough room so that you can see it on that top view. Okay, let's see, can we? Maybe if I do it this way. Haha. See, I can see it on the video. Okay, I can see it on the screen, so hopefully you can too. So I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other side, just spreading the end of the garland to make sure it's nice and open so that it'll help us fill it and still give us a good base. Because again, if we have our base set up the way we want it, to make sure we can put our flowers on, then everything else flows very smoothly. I wish I had a mantle and I could put this on. This one is not sure. I'm undecided yet if I'm going to put it on the Etsy shop or if I'm going to use it for our double doors going out to the patio, or if I'm going to put it on our front door. I don't know. If my mom was here, she would probably say, keep it. And the decision would be made. Okay, there we go. Whew. Getting hot. Hot, hot, hot. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and spread our flowers. Uh-oh, did I drop any? I hope not. Probably push them off with the garland. We'll cut some more if we need some more. Okay. Spider webs. Cut this one a little bit more. Getting all over. Don't forget, as you're here, if you're just joining, please do give a thumbs up if you're enjoying this video, learning something new, even if it's the Spanish. but just enjoying it, period, just from doing arts and crafts. I think, at least for me, it's almost like having, it's like good therapy. I have another friend, I used to be in one of the groups with a few of the other ladies, and we called it therapy. Wreath therapy, I think is what we called it over there. Miss Linda from Wreaths by Linda. Very nice lady. I don't know why this one doesn't want to stick. It's got plenty of glue. Let's see, I'll just hold it down a little while longer. Must not like that spot. Okay, there we go. And again, we will have some more fillers to put in. So not to worry if you're concerned with the spacing here, because we're also going to have our bow. Okay, so now we get to add the rest of our fillers. And I mentioned we have these. We can add a pop of yellow. We do have some of the baby's breath look, and we still have these flowers too. So we got plenty that we can spread around. So let's see. I'm gonna cut some of these. And again, just pushing all the greenery up. Makes that flower pop a little bit more. Excuse me. And it helps you more with getting your garland or even your centerpieces, any arrangements that you're making with florals. Just makes them more full. I think the only thing with garlands is it does take a little bit more time to put together. So depending on your time, you may want to plan ahead for that. Let's see about doing just a couple of those. One with more greenery. Some of these have more leaves than others, so that's something else you can use for making a decision as to which ones to use. Not sure why that is. Here we go, this one has more, so I'm going to use this one. Just wanted one more. Okay, so I'm going to find our middle. There we go. Make sure that we save some for our middle. And again, just spreading the love. It does not really have to be exact, even though I'm saying I want to put some in the middle. Our fillers will take care of all of that. We just want to spread the colors, and again, fill the parts where it doesn't seem to have a flower. Fill it in. And look at it like in different angles to make sure. Doesn't take much. And I'm only cutting a little bit at a time just because of the spacing, because I don't have that much space on here. But if you're able to, you know you're going to use it all, go ahead and cut it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move things around again just to make sure we're capturing the different angles. Back to our center. And to move it over a little bit more. There we go. So I need to put some more of these, and then I get to cut some more. Got all the spider webs in. I want to thank you all for joining and subscribing to the channel. We hit 105 subscribers about a week ago. That was one of my first goals, my first goal with YouTube. So I thank you for joining and subscribing. There's different things that YouTube does for us creatives when we have a channel, and they kind of do a reward along the way. And for getting to 100, we get our own link, like our own per se, not personable, but with our business name on it or whatever we want to name it. So it makes it easier for our customers or those that like and follow us on social media and so on to find us on YouTube. So now on my channel, it's not, I can give that link. It makes it easier for folks to find us. So thank you for subscribing. The next goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers. So please do share with your friends and family. Share the link of the video. Make sure that I have those flowers over there before I gotta cut some more. Don't want to move the garland until I get everything cut. So please do thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click on that bell so you'll be notified of our lives and upcoming premieres and uploads. That'll let you know. I think it does it about an hour or so. YouTube automatically sends those notifications about an hour before the time. So if we're going live at 8, it might let you know, I think at 7, if not 6. But if you want to know ahead of time so you can plan ahead, if you subscribe to that email list, you'll get more of a notification, because we do send that email list a couple of days in advance. And that email list will also, with subscribing, you learn more about different things going on with Especially Made for Me, going on with at the shop, and news on the business and events, specials going on. You get notified there as well for anything new that we have coming up on our shop or what we're planning on for adding to the shop. And also, if you go on Etsy, go on our Etsy shop, the link is on the bottom of the video. If you actually make it favorite the shop, that's another way to be notified in regards to that, but it notifies you of that only if you do favorite the shop. Okay, let's see if I can bring this around. That way I can have another view. And start putting these in towards the other side. You can see already just the spread of the different flowers. I'm gonna stand up here just so I can catch this other side to see the top of my head there for a second. Can't wait to have that other table. Mentioned earlier that we're working on building a table that's a little bit taller, and that table will allow me to do the project standing up and be here with you on YouTube working on the projects standing up. We'll make it a little bit easier, and then the angle of the camera can be changed a bit. Trying to make sure I didn't miss a spot somewhere. I think I need one. Oops, there goes the garland. I mentioned this is like a 9-foot garland. My table, it's only like 6 feet. think it's actually 5, this one. I think my other one in front, which you can't see, is 6 feet. So and just spreading some love. Okay. Let's see, where do we want to go next? I think, do we need any more? I think we're done with this one. No, just kind of. I think I'm going to use these versus these other ones. I don't know. I might use them. Let me spread some yellow and see where we're at. Hello, yellow. Okay, so on these, because they are long, we can decide we can keep them long and just kind of have them spread and kind of twist them. So we can do it that way. Or we can cut them to size, just cut a little bit and then just spread some yellow here and there. So there's a couple of things we can do with this one. And then of course we can do the baby's breath. We can use that as filler towards the end once we have all the flowers we're going to have, and we can use this just to, excuse me, do some little bit of fill. So at first I'm going to go ahead and just cut one and see how we would see if it kind of has it pop. I like kind of playing with it and see how I want to display it. Might be a little too much yellow like that, but if we do the side angle, not too bad. Hope you can't see it there. Let me put it back this way. So a couple of different things we can do. So I am going to actually cut it in half. Let's see, so it's going to go in pretty deep. Yeah, could do it in half. If we cut it in half, we're safe, because we have those stems, and the stems cover a lot, like I mentioned. So we want to make sure that when we do when we cut down flowers, that it'll be still seen. So we don't want to cut it too short. Like, hello, yellow. This is our center, by the way, in case you're wondering what on earth is she doing, trying to play something like that. Trying to define our center a little bit more. That's all I'm doing. Trying to see which one has the least. There we go. And with these, it's just for a touch of yellow, so I'm not using a lot of it. I'm actually going to cut them a little bit more to spread out. Let's see. Just a little bit. I don't want them too long, so I want to make sure the center is more defined. So I want to cut these a little bit more. What I'm planning on doing is putting them, just like I did with the center, over one of the big leaves to make them stand out a little bit, but not too much. Okay. And we still have more pink to put in, so no worries. And the white, so we have plenty to go around. Again, if you're just joining us, we are making a garland just in time for spring. This garland is 9 feet long. And in case you were not able to get the notification in time to get the supplies are listed underneath the video for the description. So you can look there in case you want to replay the video at another time to make the actual garland. And if you are here making it with me live, let me know. Send me a comment so I know you're out there. Or if you're watching it after as a replay, you could always put a tag for the replay and let me know you watched the replay. And then if you will please tag us, if you are making this project, tag us on social media with a picture of your project. Let us know, show it to us, just so that we'll know and see your beautiful work. Do share it with us and tag us. We are on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. Although I'll be honest with you, I think I just went off the camera a little bit. You can see me on the corner. I don't do that much twitting. I need to get better at that. Normally I just post the links to the tutorials. Okay, I'm going to try to move this a little bit more so I'll be with you. Let's see. I think I need a little bit more yellow down here. We'll see. I can see some yellow on this side, just not on this side. Maybe once it's turned around. Alright, moving it again so we can make sure we look at it at different angles. I know it takes some work, but it does pay off. Okay, let's get some more of our yellow. And this time, let's see, the first time we just cut it in two for our middle, and then we cut, I think it was a couple of more pieces for everywhere else. how are we doing? I hope we're doing okay. Oh, better than okay, rather. Hope you're enjoying this tutorial. If you are, do give it a thumbs up. And sprinkle some love. Share the link with others. Trying to make sure I look at different sides again. Making sure we spread the yellow. And another thing you can do once you hang it where you're going to be displaying it, you could take another look and see where you might need some of those colors. If you need to spread some more colors around, you could also do it that way. Okay, so we'll save these yellows. Let's see where we need to go. Kind of seeing. Okay, that's our end, so we're not going to need any there. Okay. So we have some more. And so we had a little bit more of the pink. This one is a lighter pink, but it's all throughout. In the edges, let's see if I can hold it a little bit more. The edges are actually a little bit darker pink, but they're all pink with some yellow in the middle. And then these are a real darker pink to kind of match that other pink that we have, with lighter pink and lighter pink until it gets white, and with that lime in the middle. Okay. So I am thinking I want a little bit of both. Because that's just the way I roll. And this one is shaped the same way as the yellow, so we can treat it the same way. We can divide it up. Or we can do that. So it'll have a little bit more of a feel to it. So I think just because I want to spread some more of the pink, believe it or not, for those of you that know me, normally I do a little bit of pink, not too much pink. But I find for florals, I don't know, just, it's spring, so why not, right? Trying to make sure you see where I'm cutting too. Hope you can see that on the camera. Again, if any questions on anything, let me know. Now, I hope you're able to see the difference whether you leave it this way. Let me show that again. That's because I've been doing it as I cut. That's one way of using it if you want to have that length. And if you don't, if you push everything up, it gives you a little bit smaller, puts it all together, and that way you can fill more with it. So it's all depending on what you're looking to accomplish. So before I run out of room, well, actually I don't have that many more to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut them all, whether we use them all or not, because I could always use them for something else. Okay. ¿Cómo está mi gente? How are my people doing? Hope you are doing well. With this one, I'm just kind of looking around where we have more of the white and just kind of putting that other pop of color in there. Again, just spreading the love. Okay. Things just want to fly off the table. Okay, we're at our center. Put some more ink down here. And when you push them the way that I have this one, it helps to, like I mentioned earlier, just provide that coverage and it fills more. So it does help out a lot. Let's see. Like I have a lot of leaves over here. Another yellow. Let's see. Small yellow. Maybe, let's see if I take that one off. No. Take this one off. I'm undecided. We can take leaves off if we have too many. That's kind of blocking right now. But if we do, decisions. I'll make that decision at the end. Let's see if I can move it back some. There we go. Much better. Some pink. Move it some more. Can you see already how full it is and how the colors are spread out? All the different flowers. Here's our other end. I was thinking of adding that other rose towards the bottom, but I'm thinking I'm gonna keep saving it. I think we're good. Oops. Oopsie. There we go. Okay, so now we have these others that have the pink and the yellow. We can leave as is if we're happy and satisfied, or keep going. I like to keep going just because. Okay, now these are just like the other pink ones and the yellow. Monica? Yes, ma'am. Tell you, garlands are so nice to make. They do take a little bit, so I'm glad you were able to join in. Okay, so this one is a 9-foot garland, and they call it, I forgot what the name of it is, Copeland? Colorado. Colorado garland is what they called it. I'm going to cut these off. Normally I like putting the greens in, but since we're in the filler stage, I'm starting to cut things off. And I'm just adding a pop of color where I see it just needs a little bit more color. But it's pretty full already. And these I am cutting shorter since we're using them as fillers, but you could also use these if you want to add more length, depending on where you're going to be displaying it, whether it's going to be on the mantle or over a door or those double patio doors, depending on the look that you're looking for. You can add length to it. So I'm going to add, because I didn't add any of that other pink right at the middle, so I'm going to add some of these at the middle. Our center here. Just again, because I like to define that center. That's why we did that base with those bigger leaves. And that way, when it comes time to display, you already know where your center is at. Makes it a little bit easier. And again, I like to just spread everything in the different angles. Oops, excuse me. Have them going in, up or down or sideways, just kind of spread them out. because really and truly, if you look at them in the wild, in nature, they're not necessarily all straight. And then as you spread them around, just kind of, again, just kind of look around on the left, on the right, different sides, just to make sure that you have flowers going all the way around and no empty spots. Towards the back there. So these longer ones, you could actually cut them either in half, like I did with the first set that were a little bit darker. If you watched at the beginning, cut them a little bit longer for the center, because I wanted again to add that definition on the center. But once you start spreading it throughout the rest of the garland, you can cut them smaller, which is what I'm doing now. You can cut them in threes. That's why I like these longer ones, so you get more bang for your buck. And you don't have to cut them all at once, just cut as you go. That way you'll always have some long ones if you need the longer ones for a different project. If you ever have a lot of these, what I call the spider webs from the glue, that you can see throughout your creation, as I like to say, you can use a blow dryer. If they're kind of stuck on there, you can use a blow dryer to loosen them up, and then you could just pull them right out. Let's see where else I need to put some more of this color, just to spread the love. Let me move it again, because it doesn't all fit at the table. Let's see if I can bring this other end in so we can put some of these on there. There we go. Now this is another wonderful thing about a garland, especially one that's this full. It doesn't always have to go on a mantle or a door. You could also use it on a table. Dress up a table for a wedding. So many different things you can do. I'm definitely feeling the heat though, as usual when I use the skillet. Aw, thank you, Monica. And for me, the tip is to kind of look in all the different angles, so that way you can make sure that there's flowers throughout. So that way, no matter which way you look at it, you see a flower. That to me is where the key is at. And this should be towards our end. And I'm thinking I might add that other rose on here. This yellow did not get attached too well. Let me put it in again. Let's see, I know I had a rose left. I think I'm going to put it over here. I knew there was a reason for me to save it. Haha. Let's see. Yep, I'm going to use some more of the little ones. Oops. On this side. I think this is going to be one of the longest tutorials. But it's so worth it, because we don't see garlands being made too often, because of the same reason, because they do take a little bit longer. But I wanted to at least have one made live. Getting burned, trying to make sure that they stay on there. I'm gonna put some more pink on this side. Okay, turn it around one more time. I'm gonna do the twist so I can make sure I see another angle of our center and the other end. There we go. I could already see it over a door, a mantle, and even like I have it now on a table, just spread out a little more. Alrighty. I want that to pull over. There we go. Stay. Okay, one more, and I think that will just about do it. I'm gonna add that other daisy in at the bottom, and a couple of these on this side because I don't see any, and we'll be good to go. Okay, if you're just joining, don't forget to please give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying this tutorial. Now, we were having some fun at the beginning learning some Spanish, so if you didn't catch that, do watch the replay. Okay, this one fell apart on us at the beginning, so I'm just going to put it back together. Just because I do want to use it. And then we'll cut it to size. I might actually just put the flower on there. I mean, to think of it. Let's see. We can do this. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready for our baby's breath. At least what I call baby's breath. Let's see, what do they call it? It's a hard gyp bush. Not sure what gyp means. Gypsum? I don't know. Don't know much about all the different. I know about some of the flower names, but not a whole lot. then from here we can decide on our bow or bows. We could do bows throughout the garland. Sometimes that's used by some as a filler. Or we can do a small 3-loop bow just for the ends to kind of make the garland even longer. Okay, and with these we're going to cut them down some more, because again it's just for little fillers. Trying to go a little bit faster because I know it's a long video, but I want to make sure you get all the information and you get to see everything step by step. And then you can always pause it forward, do as you need to. Based on your time. Your time availability. Okay. Let's see. I always kind of try to keep an eye out on my center. So I mentioned this, I always like to make sure that center pops. And that we have it accented. So I always want to make sure I have the different pieces playing at the center. Cut that one. Ah, yeah, I don't know too much. I mean, I know some flowers, you know, like by name, but most of them I don't. I just go by the look. If I don't really recognize them, I just, okay, this will do. I know I need something that's a little bit long. I know I need something with this color or this shape. So if I don't know the name of it, I just kind of go by that. Oops, there's one already there. And these are just to accent and do a little bit of a filler. But I find that having some of that baby's breath look kind of adds a little bit more to the garlands and even to centerpieces. If you do centerpieces, I have used these on wreath as well. Like you mentioned, Monica, using them on wreaths and on the swags. It just adds a little oomph to it, as I like to say. Just a little oomph. Just love flowers. Makes everything happier. We've been working on our garden outside and I've been just enjoying that. Just seeing everything come together and seeing the Some of the flowers starting to bloom. Just love it. So to me, it's the same with the garlands, you know, with the wreaths. And the mesh is so easy to play with, if I can call it playing. Okay, now move things around a bit again just to make sure I'm getting things in the different angles. Remember, that's what I said about the main thing to look at. Ow. Just got some of that glue on my finger. And these were just spreading around just to kind of add a little bit more oomph. Cutting just a little bit at a time because I don't want to cut them all up, just in case we don't need them all. But we might, so we still have to do the other side. I want to put some more there. And then we'll turn it around one more time, just again, to make sure we have everything covered. From both angles. It does have a back side, but I like filling the, if that'll make sense. It's more like the sides. I kind of spread the flowers on the sides as well. because I like to be able to see the flowers from every angle. So you do have somewhat of a backside to where when you display it, whether you're hanging it over a door or a mantle, you have that little bit of a backside, but you still have, it kind of gives it the look like it is full all the way around. But that's so that you can, whether you're looking at it from whichever angle when it's displayed, you'll see flowers. And that's normally, that's my goal when I make these. Because I like being able to see the flowers everywhere. So that's why I kind of turn it around every once in a while, just to kind of look at it from every angle. But there is a backside. Like if I was to turn it over completely, you'll see not pretty much most of the green, but you'll still see some of those colors from the side flowers, but there's nothing really on the bottom. Okay, let's see. I'll try to fill on the inside of this from this side, because I don't see any of these baby spreads on there, so we're gonna need to cut some more, I think. Oh, we might not. Let's see if I can get it over there without making a big mess. Okay, let's do the turn around. So I think I need to see this side here. Can't believe it's Easter already. This year is just flying. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it in the other direction, just so that we can see it from another angle. I think we already got that side. I think these two are going to be the last ones. We need one. Yep. Alrighty, so this is it. The decision will be if we want to add those bows at the end. I'm going to try and turn it around if you're still with us, Miss Monica, so you can see there's a back to it. Just gonna flip it. There is a back. There we go. But you can still see those flowers at the end, like on the sides. And I like doing it that way, kind of going around sideways for that reason. So that way someone's looking at it from the top or from the bottom looking up, sideways, there'll still be some flowers. Okay, so I'm going to try and get our ends over here so we can work on a quick bow. Ooh, there we go. We can almost see all of it on the screen. Okay, so I might have to take some of it off the screen, but we'll see. Okay, so this is the bow, the ribbon rather, that I'm thinking for the bow. So it ties in all of the different colors. We have the pink and the lime, the yellow, the white, and I'm thinking of doing just what they call like a florist bow, where it has like 3 quick loops. Excuse me, just keep it nice and simple. And then give it a little bit of a tail, so that way it kind of covers at the end of the garland, but still gives you a little bit of a tail to kind of make it even a little bit longer. Basically, that's what that would do. So, kind of have my bow thing all tied up over there. So we can determine how long we want our bow tails. Gonna go ahead and cut diagonally over here to make our little tails, dovetail. And I don't think I want it too long. Just gonna wanna, let's see, I don't know if you could even see me measuring. Just for a little bit of length. I think that's what, maybe 8 inches. Yep, 8 inches. And I'll probably do about 6. Let's see. Yep, 6-inch loop. And with these that are the same on both sides, you don't have to worry too much on which way everything goes. But if you're worried about that, just kind of go, let me kind of go on here so you can actually see me. So this is our tail, and I'm just crunching it right in between my thumb and my pointing finger. And then I'm just going over, and again, tucking it in. And you can measure it to make sure they're the same length by just doing that, just lifting them together. And you could leave it as a quick easy bow, just like so. Or if you want to do that boutique bow, then you would do a 3rd loop. So I'm actually going to leave it so just like so, and then making sure our tails are the same length. And I'm just going to fold it right there, just so I don't have to cut twice. And then cut diagonally towards the edge, and that will give you your dovetail. And then when we get to our garland, we can use the same, let me move this up some before it falls on me. I was trying to get this so that you can see what I'm doing with the bow. Just kind of keep holding the bow. And what you can do here, you can wire it and then attach it. You can use actual wire, or you can even use a matching, I'll show you how to do that. Let's see, do I have something that matches here? Just do a little white or green. Pipe cleaner. And just run it through the same, your thumb and your pointing finger, and then just do a couple of twists. Will be nice and tight. You can use this to attach your bow, or you could even use the same tips on the garland and attach it. You could do either or. You could do the same thing with wire, and then you could even add more of like the baby's breath and different things to the bow to kind of make the flowers come through the bow and elongate it that way. Different things you can do to dress it up. And for this, you could probably use just half the pipe cleaner or chenille stem. And I will try to take a picture. I will hang it on one of the doors. I will try and take a picture of it so you can see it actually on display, and maybe, let's see, I'll post it maybe on the Facebook page. See if I can turn that so you can see the bow. And there's the bow. Just a quick, simple bow. And then you just have the flowers coming right to it, and you can spread more. And that is it. And you will do the same thing on the other side. Now you can make a bigger bow. Just keep in mind, the bigger you make the bow, the more attraction is going to be towards the bow versus the actual garland. So you don't want to make that too big. Alrighty. So I am going to put this into focus again, but I'll try to bring the bow around so you'll be able to see, hopefully as close as possible, the full garland without the other bow. I'll make one real quick on this end. And I'll be using these. You could use these like for the bow itself, or some of the same flowers that we have applied to the garland. You can use that on the bow and spread it around. Ah, thank you. Glad you like it. Okay, doing the same thing again. I think it was, we were at 8 inches for the tail. So on your first one, let's see. Make sure that I have it facing properly here, and let's do our dovetail. Okay, so 8 inches for the tail, so it'll be matched with the other. We're going to make our 6-inch loop and just tucking it under. And then we're going over and tucking it. And then just have your tail facing in the direction you need it. We're going to cut and just kind of measure to make sure both loops are the same. And then we're going to cut our tails to match. And I'll do it twice this time so I can show that dovetail a little bit better. I think it was off the camera view. So what we do for that is just fold it in half, and we're going to cut diagonally towards those corners. And then that gives us the dovetails. Okay? So I'm going to use one of the smaller pieces of our chenille stem since we don't need that much. And then we can fluff as we need to make sure everything is facing in the right direction. Fluff our loops. And then you probably need to fluff it again once you attach it. That's okay. And then just give it a few twists on the back side. You could also apply a little bit of glue for extra security, just to make sure that it stays put. And there's our spring garland. Don't know if you'll see it if I change the camera view, but let me know if there's any questions. Kind of hold off here just so that you can still see it on the top view. I hope you liked it. I hope you've learned something today, or just had some fun just watching and hopefully maybe doing it with me, whether now or on the replay. Hopefully got to learn a word or two in Spanish. When we're doing our Spanish earlier, we learned about saying arts and crafts in Spanish, which is manualidades. If you think of a manual for instructions, or manual like you're doing something by hand, manualidades. So that's our main word for today. Haven't done that in a while on the channel. But do come back next week. Friday, we're here at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time every Friday, and we'll learn and we'll do things together and have some fun. And if you haven't, again, do thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, and if you want to be notified ahead of time for the videos, ring that bell. It'll notify you usually, I think, about an hour or two before. It does notify you when I'm going live or have a premiere. But if you want to know ahead of time, subscribe to the email list. I do try to send those out a couple of days before. We just started doing that a couple of days before we go live, and also let you know about updates going on with the business, new things going up on the shop, and what we're working on for future, so that you know what's coming soon and so on. So that way you'll be in the loop, as I like to say, and you know things ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and change the view real quick while I give time for any questions. Hello. Hola. So again, until next time, do stay safe, keep having fun crafting. It's kind of like therapy, so I hope you keep crafting. Do tag us on social media when you make things. We are on Facebook, so you can tag us there. We do have Pinterest also, and Instagram, so tag us as you make different creations. Just share it with us. I do enjoy seeing all the different arts and crafts ideas that everybody has, all the beautiful things that we can create, and just to make everything more beautiful day to day. So do tag us so we can see. We do have also a For the Love of Crafts group on Facebook that we started, so do join that. That is free, and we can help each other there. We can share each other's ideas, share pictures, and give each other some creative criticism. If we want that, we can ask for it. If not, we just share what we do, so we can get some motivation and inspiration, and just kind of help each other with all the creations that we make. So hopefully you'll join that, or join our social media, and if not, hopefully we'll get to see you here next week. And do stay safe, keep having fun crafting, stay liquid. Bye bye.